Two Social Security benefits look almost identical, but work in completely different ways, and mixing them up is costing American seniors, widows, and widowers hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime income. We're talking about spousal benefits and survivor benefits, and there's a claiming order mistake that's draining retirement accounts across the country. Nearly 90% of Americans make Social Security claiming decisions that cost them serious money. But there's one mistake that's particularly devastating for widows and widowers, and it happens because people don't understand the fundamental difference between how these two benefit types actually work. Let me break this down for you. Spousal benefits are what you can claim while your spouse is still alive. The maximum you can get is 50% of your parents' full benefit amount. Right now, in 2025, after the COLA adjustment, that averages around $910 per month for most spouses. If your own retirement benefit is higher than that spousal benefit, Social Security just pays you your own benefit instead. Survivor benefits are completely different. These kick in after your spouse dies, and here's the key thing. They equal 100% of what your spouse was actually receiving. Not their theoretical full benefit, but their actual monthly check. This distinction is absolutely critical, and it's where the costly mistakes happen. The average Social Security check in 2025 after the COLA adjustment is $2,071 per month. The maximum possible benefit at full retirement age is $4,018. If you wait until 70, that maximum jumps to $5,108. These numbers matter because they determine how much your surviving spouse will eventually receive, and they're crucial for break-even age calculations. Now here's where it gets complicated. There's something called deemed filing that applies to regular retirement benefits. When you file for your own retirement benefit, you're automatically considered to be filing for any spousal benefit you might be eligible for too. Social Security pays whichever is higher, but you can't separate them. But here's the huge difference. Deemed filing does not apply to survivor benefits. As a surviving spouse, you can claim your survivor benefit completely independently of your own retirement benefit. You can start one and delay the other. This creates a massive strategic opportunity that most people completely miss. Let me tell you about Diane. She's a real case study that illustrates exactly how expensive this mistake can be. When Diane turned 62, she went to the Social Security office. Her husband had already passed away. The representative told her she could claim $1,791 per month as her own retirement benefit, or $2,025 per month as her survivor benefit. They advised her to wait until 66 for the full $2,706 monthly survivor benefit. Sounds like reasonable advice, right? It wasn't. That guidance cost Diane more than $200,000 over her lifetime. Here's what Diane should have done. She should have claimed her reduced survivor benefit immediately at 62, that $2,025 per month. Then she should have let her own retirement benefit grow with those 8% annual delayed retirement credits until age 70. At that point, her own benefit would have been worth $3,674 per month, and she could have switched from the survivor benefit to her own higher benefit. Instead, by waiting, she lost 4 years of survivor benefit payments she could have been collecting. And remember, you can only switch between these benefits once and only before age 70. Diane missed that window entirely. This mistake happens because people, including many Social Security employees, don't fully understand the distinction between these benefit types. Lawrence Kotlikoff, the Boston University economist and author of the New York Times bestseller Get What's Yours, puts it bluntly. You go into Social Security and you say, hey, I want my 76% higher check for the next possibly 30 years. And they say, no, look at our records here. You filed for both benefits, you checked off the box. The problem is that once you've filed incorrectly, it's nearly impossible to undo. Social Security has a 20,000-page program operations manual system covering 2,700 different rules. Most of their frontline employees don't know all the nuances, and they're not legally required to give you the optimal claiming strategy. They'll tell you what you're eligible for right now, but they won't necessarily explain how waiting or claiming differently could dramatically increase your lifetime benefits. Let's look at another scenario. Say you're a 60-year-old widow whose husband was the higher earner. Your own full retirement benefit would be $1,800 per month at age 67. Your husband's benefit was $3,200 per month when he died. If you claim your survivor benefit immediately at 60, you'll get about $2,288 per month. That's 71.5% of his full amount, reduced because you're claiming early. But here's the key. While you're collecting that survivor benefit, your own retirement benefit is growing by 8% per year, thanks to delayed retirement credits. If you let your own benefit grow until age 70, it would increase to about $2,664 per month. In this case, you'd want to stick with the higher survivor benefit. But if your own benefit was going to be higher, say $3,800 per month at age 70, then you'd want to switch at that point. The math gets even more compelling when you consider longevity. Women typically live longer than men, so widows often have decades to collect these benefits. A difference of even a few $100s per month compounds to hundreds of thousands of dollars over a 20 or 30-year retirement. There's another wrinkle that trips people up. It's called RIB-LIM, the Retirement Insurance Benefit Limit. This rule guarantees that a widow will receive at least 82.5% of her deceased spouse's full retirement age benefit, even if he claimed early and reduced his own benefit. But many widows accept lower amounts because they don't know about this protection, or because the Social Security representative doesn't apply it correctly. Then there's the remarriage factor. If you remarry before age 60, you typically lose eligibility for survivor benefits entirely. If you remarry after 60, you can keep them. But here's something most people don't know. If you were married to your deceased spouse for at least 10 years and you remarry after age 60, you might still qualify for benefits on your former spouse's record if those would be higher. The complexity is staggering. There are over 500 possible filing combinations for married couples. When you add in survivor benefits, divorced spouse benefits, and various timing strategies, the permutations become overwhelming. Most people just copy what their neighbor did, not realizing that every situation is different. For government workers, there are additional complications. The windfall elimination provision and government pension offset can reduce Social Security benefits for people with government pensions, affecting both spousal and survivor benefits in ways most people don't anticipate. This is why the National Bureau of Economic Research found that nearly 90% of Americans make suboptimal Social Security claiming decisions. The research suggests that people who wait until 70 to claim could enjoy as much as $182,370 in additional discretionary spending over their lifetimes. But only about 6% of Americans actually wait until 70. The early claiming penalty is severe and permanent. If you claim at 62, your benefits are reduced by up to 30% for the rest of your life. That doesn't just hurt you, it hurts your surviving spouse too, because their survivor benefit will be based on your reduced amount. Take Jerry, a 72-year-old man who claimed his Social Security at full retirement age instead of waiting until 70. He didn't need the money at the time, but he didn't understand the long-term implications. His decision will reduce his wife's eventual survivor benefit by $1,700 per month. Over 10 years, that is $204,000 in lost income for his widow. This is particularly important because of the widow's penalty. When one spouse dies, the household loses one Social Security check, but most of the expenses remain the same. The surviving spouse needs to maintain the same housing, utilities, and basic living costs, but with significantly reduced income. Maximizing that survivor benefit becomes crucial for financial security. The rules around survivor benefits have some unique features that create additional opportunities and traps. For instance, if you're receiving survivor benefits and you're under full retirement age, there are earnings limits. In 2025, you can earn up to $23,400 annually without affecting your benefits. Beyond that, you lose $1 in benefits for every $2 of excess earnings. But here's something interesting. Those lost benefits aren't actually lost forever. When you reach full retirement age, Social Security calculates your benefit to give you credit for the months when benefits were withheld due to excess earnings. It's like getting those benefits back with interest. The timing of when your spouse claimed their benefits also matters enormously. If your spouse claimed early and reduced their benefit, your survivor benefit will generally be capped at what they were actually receiving. But remember that the ribbed limb rule, you're still guaranteed at least 82.5% of their full retirement age amount. On the flip side, if your spouse delayed claiming until after full retirement age and earned those 8% annual delayed retirement credits, those credits carry over to your survivor benefit. So if your spouse waited until 70 and increased their benefit by 32%, your survivor benefit includes that increase too. This is why financial planners often recommend that the higher earning spouse delay claiming until 70, even if they don't need the money immediately. It's essentially buying life insurance for the surviving spouse in the form of a higher, guaranteed monthly payment. Recent changes have eliminated some of the more exotic claiming strategies. The Bipartisan Budget Act, signed in November 2015, ended the file and suspend strategy and restricted applications for people born after 1953. But the basic survivor benefit strategy, claiming one benefit early while letting the other grow, remains intact and is often the optimal approach. There's also a little-known benefit called the lump sum death benefit. When your spouse dies, you're eligible for a one-time payment of $255. It's not much, but as one widow put it, it's something, I guess. You have to apply for it, though. It's not automatic. The Social Security Administration has made some efforts to improve education, but the complexity remains overwhelming. Their website has detailed information, but it's often buried in technical language. Their representatives are generally helpful, but may not be aware of all the optimization strategies available. This is why Kotlikoff and other experts caution against relying solely on Social Security for advice about claiming strategies. The agency's job is to pay benefits accurately, not to maximize your lifetime benefits. Those are two very different missions. Looking ahead, these strategies become even more important as Social Security faces long-term funding challenges. While the system won't disappear, future retirees may face benefit reductions or higher retirement ages. Maximizing benefits under the current rules becomes crucial for financial security. The bottom line is this: understanding the difference between spousal and survivor benefits isn't just academic, it's potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. The claiming order matters enormously. The timing matters. The coordination between benefits matters. If you're approaching retirement or recently widowed, don't make these decisions in isolation. Consider consulting with a fee-only financial advisor who specializes in Social Security optimization. The cost of professional advice is minimal compared to the potential cost of getting it wrong, because once you've filed, your options become extremely limited. Social Security allows very few do-overs. The decision you make in that Social Security office could determine your financial security for the next 20 or 30 years. The system is complex by design, but the fundamentals are clear. Know the difference between spousal and survivor benefits, understand that you can claim them independently, and don't let anyone, even Social Security employees, rush you into a decision without fully understanding your options. Your future self will thank you for taking the time to get it right.